Hi, we're gonna do a little review of decimals, so I hope you're ready. Let's take a look at this chart again. A decimal, don't forget, it's another way to write a fraction. So if you have 1/10, you could also show it this way. 1/10 equals 0.1. 1/100th, you could write as 100th or 0.01. 7/10 is 0.7, or we also read that as 7/10. There's three ways to write 700ths. 700ths, 700ths, or 700ths. Okay, and then if you have a mixed decimal, you have a whole number and you have a fraction together. So this right here would be a mixed number. If we saw this as a fraction, we would read it the exact same way, which is 152 and 376 thousandths, okay? If we just had this number right here, we would say 152 and 3/10. If we had this number, we would say 152 and 37 hundredths. But we have all three, so we're going to say 152 and 376 thousandths. Okay, so let's look at some of these again. But before I do, let me show you this. Just a visual here. If we have a block of 10 right now, and we have one of them colored in right here, we have 1/10. This would be our fraction, which we could also put as 0.1. If we had 10 hundredths, we could, this is our block of 100. If we colored in one block, we would have, we could write this as 10 hundredths, or also this could be 1/10 if you're counting it by the columns. Now this one right here, if we had all three of these colored in, this would be 11 hundredths. Okay, now what I want you to do is look at these. What is the denominator in all of these? Yep, you're right, it's 10. And so when we have tenths, it means we have one decimal place. So we would read these as 1/10. See, 1/10. 5/10. Remember, this is the mixed number, so we have 1 and 1/10. 2 and 3/10. 4, whole number 4, and 9/10. 4/10. Now you try. 3 and 7/10. 7/10. 6/10. 9/10. So the key to remember is when you have tenths, you have one number behind the decimal point. And that's why you have 1 0. All right, what is the denominator for these? Right away, you should see that they're all 100. So if you have hundredths, you read it as, like you would normally read a fraction, 100th. Or you can see these now, 100th. Now this one is a little bit trickier because there are two places, and this is how you would write it, 0.01, because you have two decimal places, or 2 zeros, so you're going to need two decimal places, but you can't have it 0.10 because then that would say 10 hundredths. So this is 100th, 61 hundredths, 51 hundredths, 41 hundredths. You try. 2 hundredths. Be careful with this one, like I said, because there's 2 zeros, so when you're writing your fraction, you would not just write 2/10, you would write 2 hundredths. Okay? 21 hundredths, 3 hundredths, 81 hundredths, 71 hundredths, 11 hundredths, 91 hundredths. Now let's look at this. So the thing to remember with these is if you have two places after the decimal, you have hundredths. Now we are going to the threes, you guessed it. So let's look at these denominators. We have thousandths, 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 thousandths. We would read this as 121 thousandths if this were a fraction. And the same thing on this side. This is 121 thousandths. All right, so read these for me. 121 thousandths, 2 thousandths, 3 places, thousandths. 21 thousandths, which is different than 21 hundredths because there's an extra zero. 1 thousandth has 3 points because 1,000 has 3 zeros. Then 100th would be 0.01, and then 1/10 would be 0.1. It's all about the amount of zeros. Okay, 131 thousandths, 31 thousandths, 3 thousandths. All right, now let's see how well you can do. All right, Sam. All right, this is 6/10. Reese, do you know this one? 47 hundredths. Michael, do you know this one? It is 5/10. Charlotte, 618 thousandths. You got it. Daniel, 9/10. Stephen, 1 and 32 hundredths. You are correct. Griffin, 815 thousandths. Olivia, 93 hundredths. Sorry, I couldn't read that for a second because I couldn't tell if I wrote a 5 or a 3. It's a 3. All right, Riley, I gave you the hard one, okay? There's 2 spots. This is 5 hundredths. Hopefully you were able to get that. Jeremiah, 4 and 632 thousandths. All right, let's see. Titus. This is 3/10. This is correct. Let's see. Noah, do you know this one? This is 1/1000th. And hopefully you guys were able to know all of these as a quick review. And then if you were to write fractions for these, you would write them exactly how we said them. 1,000th, you'd have thousands. 3, you'd have tenths. I hope that you're doing well and that you're doing your math page, you're watching these videos, and you know decimals like this. All right, see you next time.